Good morning, you guys. What is up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a new video. I literally just woke up and I am just in such a good mood because we're going to the bookstore today and I thought I would take you guys along. I want to take you guys to some of the bookstores I don't often go to. I can proudly say that I have been to every bookstore in Ottawa. We don't have like too many. Yeah, there's not really anything new for me to go check out per se. However, I wanted to take you guys to some bookstores that I don't like often go to. I feel like we always go to Black Squirrel together because it's my favorite. And I just wanted to take you guys to some other bookstores in case you're in the Ottawa area and you're looking for some other spots to go. And I'm just so excited. If you guys are new here, hi, my name's Carter. I'm 26. I talk about getting through life in your 20s unfiltered. And I'm a big reader. I, as like a lot of us, got back into reading in about 2019 when I graduated college, and we're big readers over here. And I feel like it's so cool because I was saying this to Matt last night that it's been really cool, I guess, to document my reading journey over the years and how it's evolved. Like, I feel like I'm going through a really big shift right now in my reading style and what I enjoy reading. Like, when I first got back into reading, I was reading so many psychological thrillers and smutty books, which I still do, I guess. But then I went through like a big fantasy phase in the last year, and now I'm really into literary fiction, specifically unhinged women doing batshit crazy shit, honestly. And it's just been so cool to see kind of like my evolution as a reader and new genres and books that I'm trying out. And I'm really excited to take you guys along. So plan for today is we're gonna go to a few bookstores, have a little bookstore shopping day. Matt is gonna work from home so that I have my car because we still only have one car. And then I also have a ton of library holds to pick up. So I thought we could do like a book haul and a library haul because I'm a big fan of supporting the library ever since we moved. I mean, I've always been a big library person. However, when we lived in the city, the hold system was awful and it would take me like 30 weeks to get a book, whereas now even like a new release, I get it within like maybe a week of it coming out. So I've been really utilizing the library a ton out here. I always want to share that on my channel. I will never shame anyone for how they want to buy books. If you want to go to the bookstore and buy all new books, go for it. I personally end up thrifting and buying a lot of my books secondhand. I'd say like about 95% of my books are secondhand or used. That's just how I prefer to do it because books are so expensive right now. I guess before we get into it, I could kind of share a little bit about my book buying strategy in case you guys are curious. I feel like especially with these videos, it's kind of fun to share how I think through my process with books. So like I said, the majority of the books I get are used or from the used bookstore. I never know how to like start this. So if someone says, hey, you should read, let's do Big Swiss for example. You should read Big Swiss. I think you'd really like it. I first check the library. I'll either check Libby because I do have a few library cards that I pay for in the US so that I can use Libby with my Kindle because in Canada it's not compatible with Kindle. And then I'll also check my local library, and that's like my first kind of go-to spot for a book. My small town library has I'd say like about 75% of the books that I'm looking for, and if they don't, I can request them. So if they have it, I'll usually read it there. And this is something new I'm doing this year because I found I was buying so many new books and I was donating the ones like I just didn't enjoy, and I felt like I was kind of not wasting my money because money's never wasted on books, but I felt like it wasn't the best use of my money. And so now if I read a book from the library and it's 4 or 5 stars, I will go get the physical copy to have on my shelf. That's just something that I like to do. Will either try to find it used, or if I don't, I will go buy it from a local like independent indie bookstore opposed to like a big box chain, unless I have a gift card, because of course I'm not going to say no to a free book. So I try not to really buy like newer books off of Amazon or like Indigo unless I have a gift card. Today you guys will see when I talk about my TBR in a sec, or not my TBR, TBB, to be bought. There's a few books I read recently that I really want to pick up, and I'd rather support a local bookstore in grabbing those, and that's just really helped bring my book buying costs down, which once again, like, there's nothing wrong with spending money on books. I'm a big believer in spending money on things that bring you joy. That's kind of the only time I'll really buy a new book. However, some of the bookstores we're going to today also have a really great used section, and if I have a book on my TBR and I see it at the thrift store or I see it secondhand for, you know, a couple dollars or $8, $9, $10 at a used bookstore, I'll typically pick it up because I just want to support that bookstore. I know Singing Pebble, which we're gonna head to today, it's probably gonna be the first one we go to, has a really great selection of used books, and then also just like damaged books that they can't sell full price. If I see a book there that I've been wanting to read and it's, you know, $8, $9, $10, I'll pick it up to support the bookstore. But other than that, I utilize Facebook Marketplace a ton and just like used bookstores and thrift stores for books that I'm looking to read. I feel like the only other time that I buy books new or like I'm like looking for them at a bookstore is a series, next book in a series. But other than that, if someone like recommends a book and it's available at the library, I'll typically read it there first. If I love it, then I'll buy it. You know, if I have books on my TBR and I go to, let's say like Value Village or something, and I see the book for $4.99 or $5.99, I will pick it up and just read it. But yeah, huge fan of the library and used books and secondhand books, all that stuff. So really excited to take you guys along today. I feel like too, there's certain books that maybe are a bit too new for me to find at the thrift store or that I really, really want to read and I'll buy. Or I guess Facebook Marketplace is actually good for that, which is the whole reason this video started, is because I'm picking up a few Facebook Marketplace finds. Someone posted a ton of literary fiction books for $5, like everything on my TBR basically. So I'm gonna go pick those up, and while I'm in the city, we'll go to some other bookstores. Sometimes I find that it's kind of tricky to find newer books at the thrift stores, or I don't really tend to find a lot of fantasy at the thrift store. I tend to find just more of like romance and thrillers and a bit of lit fic at the thrift store. So yeah, I don't know, I kind of know like where to go for what. Singing Pebble also has a really great selection of literary fiction. Black Squirrel has a really great selection of fantasy used books. And yeah, I feel like once you start going to bookstores in your area, you kind of know what has the best of what. So anyways, that's that. But I guess I can put up on the screen my current TBR. I have it broken down by genre, and if I can find some of these books on my TBR, that would be great. And if not, we'll just see what's out there. My plan is to go to Singing Pebble, Octopus Books, Spaniel's Tale, and I might stop by the library. A lot of the Ottawa Public Library locations also have bookstores in them, so I might stop by one of those. I'd like to go to Westboro Books if I have time, since it's right next to the Spaniel's Tale, but I don't know, we'll kind of see. And yeah, I'm not going to Black Squirrel today. I'm kind of sad about it. I love Black Squirrel. You guys know it's my favorite. So yeah, and then maybe a Valley Village location, because I can't pass up thrifting when I'm in the city. So anyways, welcome to the vlog. I'm so excited. I am going to, actually, I'm gonna work for a little bit. I have some like brand deal stuff I need to do before I head out, get a few hours of work done, and then my reward will be going and doing some book shopping with you guys. I'm so excited. And yeah, I was gonna include my monthly wrap up in this, but I feel like this video, like I just chat a lot, so I feel like it might already be long, so I think that will be a separate video. But yeah, I'm super excited. Let's go book shopping. Hi you guys, hello. It's actually the next day. I feel like this always happens, especially like going into the city now since we don't live in Ottawa anymore. Anytime I make a day out of like outings, by the time I get home, I'm just like beat as an introverted homebody who obviously like with my long COVID, I just get very overstimulated easy. So I was exhausted when I got home. So I was like, you know what, let's just film the book haul tomorrow, and I just went and walked up to pick up some of my library holds on my lunch break from work. So I figured we could do like a little joint book haul and library haul. Didn't get to talk to you guys as much as I wanted yesterday when we were out and about because we were kind of pressed for time. I ended up getting to Singing Pebble yesterday, which was my first stop, or I went to the library bookstore first, and then Singing Pebble was like my first like bookstore stop. And when I got there, I was just like walking around, and I mean, it was like a weekday afternoon, so it wasn't too busy. And then this girl that was working there was taking some books off the shelves, and I was like, oh, I'm looking for like Love Redesigned, like do you have it? And she was like, no. And then the lady, I guess, overheard me. She was from CBC Ottawa, which is like our local news station, and she was like, oh, are you looking for a romance book? And I was like, yeah, I'm looking for, you know, Lauren Asher's newest book. Like, I'm a huge fan. I love her Dirty Air series. And then she had said like, oh, do you read a lot of books? And I said, yeah, like I do social media, I talk a lot about books and stuff. And she goes, oh, well, do you want to be interviewed? And I was like, oh, sure, okay. I'm not sure if the lady interviewing was a reader or not, because she said that they were doing a segment on romantasy, but then she was asking me about contemporary romance questions, so I wasn't too sure. Anyways, we chatted about some books, some contemporary romance and some romantasy, and that was pretty cool, honestly. Just happened to be like right moment, right time, but I ended up being there for like close to an hour. And when I go to the city, like I'm on a schedule because I'm trying to get as much done as I can in like that 2-3 hour window that I have. So then I was kind of just like rushing around. Then it was starting to get like traffic time, and I was going to like Westboro downtown, Centertown area. So it was just chaotic. And so I was really just trying to get all the footage I could and then come home. But I figured we could end this off with a book haul. And as per usual, I'll do it by like the place I got it and how much it was. I love sharing book hauls with you guys to show that you can find great titles used and great prices. Like they don't have to be new. I will say I really scored on Facebook Marketplace this time, and what I did was as soon as I knew of a book I was looking for, I actually put on the notification alert, which you can do on Facebook Marketplace. So I literally typed in like Big Swiss, and then I set like an alert for that, and then when something came up I could message them right away. Let's start with the Facebook Marketplace finds because that is what I went to the city for, and I'm so excited. Just selling them for $5 each because she was moving a score. These are all in like immaculate condition. So the first one is I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. This is one of those books that I'm terrified to read. Like I don't know why, I'm just scared to read it. You can tell she's an Amazon used book buyer, which honestly, if you guys didn't know, Amazon does have a great used book program if you do like maybe live somewhere remote like I do. I don't really order a ton of books from Amazon, but they do have a really great used section for really great prices. So anyways, that's so funny. This is, it's only in good condition, but it's like brand new. A group of women who live deep underground, imprisoned in a cage, and they've, you know, they have no idea how they got there. So yeah, my library did not have this, which is kind of why I was like, you know, I'll pick it up. Okay, then I picked up Ripe by Sarah Rose Etter. I'm actually halfway through this. I picked it up at the library and I am loving it so much that I was like, I know this is going to be like a 4 or 5 star read. So when I saw that it was in her pile of books she was selling, I was like, I absolutely want this. Okay, then we have, once again, this is like in new condition, Pineapple Street by Jenny Jackson. Another Amazon used book. That is so funny. This cover is just absolutely stunning. It says an addictive escapist novel that sparkles with wit, full of recognizable, lovable characters. It's about the peculiar unknowability of someone else's family, the miles between the haves and have-nots, and the insanity of first love. All wrapped up in a deliciously funny, sharply observed debut of family love and class. Really excited to read this. And lastly, we have Tom Lake by Anne Patchett, which one of my friends at book club just read, and she said it was really, really good. So I'm really excited to read this. It just says a beautiful and moving novel about family love and growing up. This is about a mother and her 3 daughters, and I guess one day they're just like begging their mother to tell them the story about how she had like a romance with this famous actor. So I guess it's just like recalling the past, and I'm really excited to read this. Okay, I picked up Big Swiss by Jen Began at Spaniel's Tail bookstore. I try to spread out, like if I want to pick up 2 or 3 books, I try and get like one at each bookstore to support them all. I don't know why. But I just read this and I think I'm gonna give it a 4 star. I originally gave it a 3.75, but I cannot stop thinking about it. And yeah, I just really wanted to have this copy of the book. I really want to go back and annotate it, which I feel like is the case for a lot of literary fiction books I'm reading. I'm laughing because I said earlier, I don't buy books that I haven't read like brand brand new, but I did for this one. And that's because when I was doing the interview, like, can you just like talk with this employee about books and like recommendations? Like, it feels very authentic. And I was like, yeah, sure. So we were just chatting about contemporary romance books. And she was like, have you read this book yet? And I said, no. And it's called The Friendship Study by Ruby Barrett. And she said, oh, she's a local author. And I guess she writes from I want to say like it's a neurodivergent romance and also like bisexual. She was explaining this and it kind of sounded like Anyone But You. Like they went on a date, there was some miscommunication, and now they don't get along. So anyways, I was just like holding this walking around the store because we were like doing the interview and stuff. And then I got to the cash and I didn't realize I had it still. And then I was like, you know what, heck, let's support like an Ottawa author. So anyways, I wasn't anticipating buying this. I had no idea this book existed, but now I'm forever going to think of this book and think of the CBC Ottawa interview. So kind of great. And I do love to support local authors when I can. So yeah, anyways, I'm really excited to read this. I'm so excited about this one because did you hear about Kitty Care has been on my TBR for a few months now since it came out, I want to say last year. Yeah, this has been compared to The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which is one of my all-time favorite books. I have read it like 3 times now, and I am so excited to read this. This just says a multi-generational saga that traverses the glamour of old Hollywood and the seductive draw of modern day showbiz. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, Taylor Jenkins Reid literally has a quote on the front that says intoxicating and seductive. So I'm really excited to read this. And like I mentioned, Singing Pebble Books has a really great selection of new-ish books that have just been like damaged that they can't sell at full price, or used books as well. So that's where I like to go if I'm looking for a new release. Like this literally came out in 2023. And it's a little bit, I don't know if you can tell here, but it's a little bit damaged. And so it was originally priced for $36.99 and I got it for, I think, $12.99, which is crazy. Apparently this is the author's first novel, so I'm really, really excited to read this. And then at Value Village, I just picked up 2 books. They were in the kids section, so they were $3.99 each, and I had a 20% off coupon. This is so exciting. It's the only book I'm missing from the series, The Diamond of Darkhold, and that is the 4th book in the City of Ember series. Or I guess it's like the Book of Ember series, but this is like my favorite series growing up. So freaking good. If you haven't read it, I honestly recommend it as an adult. It's such a fun series. It is about 2 kids in like a dystopian underground city, and they escape into like the world. And so yeah, I actually think I'm gonna reread this because I don't remember how this one ends. And then I recently decided I wanted to collect the hardcovers of the Series of Unfortunate Events series. I have the paperbacks, but I love the hardcovers, and I'm missing a few. And they're really easy to thrift. So I found the last book, which is called The End. Once again, one of my favorite series as a kid. So I'm really excited about this. And I think I want to reread these as well. And then I have a little library haul as well to share because it's like a book haul, but it's free, which is great. You just have to give them back. But first we have Small Things Like This by Claire Keegan. I love Books Are Sick. If you follow him on TikTok, I don't even know his name. But I love him. He also has a YouTube channel. He does like weekly reading wrap-ups. I'll put his TikTok here. You've probably seen him before. This was on his list of like his top 10 books of all time. And it's a nice short book, which is great too. I think it's only, yeah, 116 pages. Figured this could be like a nice short read to read on the weekend. I'm really in my literary fiction era here. We've got Boy Parts by Eliza Clark. I posted on my Instagram story saying, give me your best unhinged, wild, female literary fiction recommendations, and so many of you guys recommended these next like 3 or 4 books. So I'm really excited to give this a go. I also have A Certain Hunger by Chelsea Summers, which this was also really recommended on the Instagram story. It just says a satire of early foodieism, a critique of how gender is defined, and a showcase of virtuoso storytelling. Introduces us to the food world's most charming psychopath and an exciting new voice in fiction. So this sounds really good. Sweet Bitter by Stephanie Danler, once again, came highly recommended in that Instagram story I posted. Tess, the 22-year-old narrator of Sweet Bitter, and you will never again read a debut coming-of-age novel as stunning as this one. Shot in New York in 2006. Transition from girl to woman, from living in a place that feels like nowhere to living in a place that feels like the center of the universe. Okay, definitely like a New York City coming-of-age story, kind of similar to, I guess, Cleopatra and Frankenstein, kind of like that as well. So I have that. And then lastly, I have Bunny by Mona Awad. I did have a hold on Rouge, but I decided to read some of her older works first. I don't know, let me know if you have a favorite Mona Awad book, which one it is, but this one was just like the one that was available at the library the quickest. I have no idea what this is about other than that I've heard it's like really weird, so I'm excited, or slash like I have no idea what to think about that book. But anyways, that is the book haul. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know. I need your help. Let me know which of these books I should read first, which is exactly why I wanted to share the library books with you guys as well, because I need to know which one I should read first. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you guys so much. Make sure to support your local library, thrift stores, used bookstores, Facebook Marketplace, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!